Alright guys, Dominic here for Kit Guru, and today we are taking another look at the Asus ZenBook S14, but specifically the gaming performance of the Arc 140V that is found within the Core Ultra 7 258V CPU. Now this is of course the same Lunar Lake laptop that Leo reviewed a few weeks ago, where he kindly offered to send it my way for a closer analysis of the iGPU gaming performance, so strap in as that is exactly what we're doing today. If you missed Leo's initial review then of the Asus ZenBook S14, I highly recommend checking that out, as he excellently explains and lays out the background for the new Lunar Lake or Core Ultra 200V series of processors. This specific ZenBook S14 we are using for testing features the Core Ultra 7 258V, and within that we find Intel's Arc 140V iGPU. That graphics chip is built on the new Xe2 architecture with 8 Xe2 cores, and in this specific model it clocks in at 1950 MHz, though other variants can go a little faster. Today then we are entirely focused on gaming performance of this iGPU, and I'm going to be putting it head to head against the Radeon 890M that's found within the Ryzen AI 9 HX370. I benchmarked that iGPU at the end of August, and here I'm going to be using the same selection of games so we can directly compare these two chips. Both laptops were tested using the maximum fan profile setting in the My Asus software, with the AMD chip typically running at 33 watts, though the Intel 258V does draw fractionally less, usually between 25 to 30 watts. For both machines as well, I manually set available VRAM to its maximum of 8GB in the My Asus software. Lastly then, all testing was done at 1920 by 1080, though I am using a few different in-game presets, and some tests were done both with and without upscaling. On that note, however, I'm only going to be focusing on FSR for my upscaling just to keep things simple. Obviously the Arc 140V does support XeSS, however this is primarily a performance analysis rather than an image quality comparison.
If you're looking for a new chair, then you should definitely check out Booley's. I'm currently sat on their Ninja Pro gaming chair, which is one of 3 models from their gaming series alongside the Elite and the Master. So if you're looking for something new to stick in your setup that you can sit on and game and work, then I recommend definitely checking out boolies.co.uk.
Kicking things off then with Modern Warfare 3, we're starting with the basic preset, and right away we can see a sizable lead for the Radeon 890M. Sure, the Arc 140V is relatively playable, but the Radeon chip is always a lot closer to 60 FPS, whereas the 140V is in the 40 to 45 FPS region, and it does dip into the 30s depending on the benchmark scene. That gap stays about the same when we enable FSR2. The 140V is now a lot closer to 60 FPS, often above, but the 890M is still a good 15 to 20 FPS faster, depending on exactly what's going on in the built-in benchmark. I even tried upping to the balanced preset, but still with FSR set to its balanced mode, but the trend does stay the same. The 890M holds above 60 FPS almost the entire time, whereas the 140V spends most of its time in the 40 FPS region. Next up we have Cyberpunk 2077, where using the low preset we actually see a reversal of that trend from Call of Duty. There's of course not a lot in it, and the frame rate does fluctuate a bit throughout the benchmark, but the 140V does take a lead here, and on average across the entire bench it held a 15% advantage, with that gap widening as the camera moves outdoors. I also stuck on FSR balance mode, and this will get both machines closer to 60 FPS, but once more it's the Arc 140V that is a handful of frames faster despite operating at a lower power draw too. Now, you can probably just about get away with bumping up to the medium preset with FSR enabled, with frame rate around 50 FPS indoors but higher outdoors. We do still see the same margins, however, with the 140V taking a 14% lead on average over the entire benchmark. Moving on then to F123, this is another title where the 140V overtakes the 890M, if you pardon the terrible pun. First off, both chips deliver great performance. We are miles over 60 FPS at all times, but it's the 140V which is typically above 100 to 110 FPS here, compared to the Radeon 890M, which is usually bouncing around in the high 90s region. Interestingly though, when we switch over to the high preset, things do get a lot closer, and we see brief moments where the Radeon 890M actually takes the lead, though things are still very close and I don't think you'd actually be able to tell the difference when gaming. Even FSR doesn't make a huge difference here, and the margins are still very close overall, with both now sitting in or around the 60 FPS mark. As for another racing title looking at Forza Horizon 5, at low settings we are once again looking at performance that is just too close to call between the two iGPUs. Both are in the high 60s to 70 FPS region, but there is very little to split between the two chips here. Stepping up to the high preset still delivers very playable frame rates at or around 60 FPS, maybe a touch below, and the 140V does look ever so slightly faster here. It's maybe 3 to 4 frames ahead, but absolutely nothing major at all. Now, I did also try enabling the FSR balance mode, but the 140V seemed to bug out here as performance was absolutely awful once the upscaling was enabled. I then restarted the game and it seemed to fix itself, but this is perhaps a driver issue that still needs to be ironed out. What we can see though is, particularly at the end of the benchmark, the Radeon 890M does pull away slightly, with around a 10 FPS gap between the two chips. Speaking of bugs, Horizon Forbidden West unfortunately shows us another victim of Intel's drivers, with some really trippy graphical corruption going on. It kind of looks like Doctor Strange has opened up a portal into the game. It's a shame as the performance is generally well ahead of the Radeon 890M, and that's before we even get to upscaling, but obviously it's just not playable in this current state. There is good news for the Arc 140V in Returnal, however, with the Intel chip coming in a good chunk faster than the Radeon 890M when using the low preset. Outside of the first few seconds, frame rates are still fairly low, in the mid-30s and often dipping lower in parts, but by being a handful of frames ahead of the 890M, that works out as quite a significant percentage. I also stuck on FSR balance mode, and that does help as frame rates are that bit more playable. We can also see, particularly towards the end of the benchmark, the 140V really stretches its lead over the Radeon 890M, so this is definitely a good result for Intel. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is next then, and this is an oldie but a goodie. Using the built-in benchmark at low settings, things are very close indeed between the 140V and the Radeon 890M. If anything, the Intel iGPU is just fractionally faster, but we're talking 1 to 2 FPS at most, but that is still a very solid result for both chips, as this game still looks very good in my opinion. That said, I did also try the high preset, but this time with XeSS enabled, as the game does not support FSR. Here you will notice that a lead has opened up for the 140V, which I thought could possibly be due to the use of XeSS's XMX path instead of the DP4A path that has to be used on the 890M. That being said, in the second part of the benchmark, the lead for the 140V absolutely evaporates and performance becomes very close between the two chips again, so it's very hard to pick a real winner. You know me though guys, just for the banter I did also try enabling ray tracing on these iGPUs where we're running the low preset but with RT shadows set to medium. This is of course completely unrealistic, but I thought it'd be interesting, and we do see a very slight lead for the Arc 140V, though with no upscaling frame rates are very low. However, in the second part of the benchmark, the Intel chip does open up a much bigger lead this time, with about a 10 FPS gap between the two, though I still would absolutely not recommend enabling ray tracing on these iGPUs. Unfortunately though, there is more bad news for the Arc 140V in Spider-Man Miles Morales. Here we're using the very low preset with FSR balance, but the 140V still can't hold the frame rate above 30 FPS at all times, with dips down even as low as 20 frames per second. This is despite the Radeon 890M handling things without a hitch, often running at twice the performance of the Intel iGPU. Why this is the case, I really couldn't tell you, but to me it does look like a lot more optimization needs to be done in this game. Even with frame generation enabled, things still look very rough for the 140V, where the 890M is pushing close to 90 or 100 FPS, whereas the 140V can barely hit 40 to 50 FPS, so something is definitely not right here. Lastly then, I'm finishing off with Starfield running at the low preset, and despite the 140V being 4 to 5 FPS faster than the 890M here, both are delivering sub 30 FPS results, so you really do need to enable upscaling, at least in this demanding benchmark section. In fact, I enabled FSR quality and frame generation, and even then, we weren't quite hitting 60 FPS. However, you can see that performance between the two iGPUs is much closer now, with both the 140V and Radeon 890M trading blows in that upper 50 FPS region.
As a world-leading manufacturer, Cyberpower PC UK expertly builds each PC with the largest range of parts available in the UK. We handle all your packages with care and ship them directly to you on next day delivery. Visit cyberpowersystem.co.uk.
That brings us then to the end of this video, and I think it's fair to say overall performance of Intel's Arc 140V is very much a mixed bag. On the one hand, it can look absolutely fantastic in certain games like Cyberpunk 2077, where we saw it come in around 15% faster than the Radeon 890M, all while drawing less power. However, for every game like that, we had our fair share of dodgy results, including frame rates absolutely tanking in Forza Horizon 5 when enabling FSR, we had graphical corruption in Horizon Forbidden West, to just downright terrible performance in Spider-Man Miles Morales when compared to the Radeon 890M. Don't get me wrong, there is certainly a lot of potential here, particularly in regards to the efficiency of this iGPU, as it did typically run at lower power draw than the Radeon 890M. However, unfortunately, I do think it's again the driver situation just letting this Intel chip down, as overall, I just found it to be very inconsistent. I was thinking if I had to pick a handheld, for instance, that had either the Radeon 890M or the Intel Arc 140V, I would have to go for the Radeon, as it was just that bit more consistent across all the games we tested. Anyway guys, that is going to do it for this video, so please do toss me a thumbs up if you liked it, and of course, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to ding that notification bell so you don't miss when we upload a new video. If you want to carry on the conversation as well, head over to our Discord server, which is linked down in the description. And while you're there, you'll find links to our merch store, where you can pick up a cool t-shirt like the one on screen now. And if you're feeling particularly generous, you could even consider backing us on Patreon. That's it for this one though, guys. I'm Dominic for Kit Guru, and I'll see you in the next video.